name is Samantha Musa on my ID, but I'm called MISRED on radio, on television, on social media, imisred.com, on websites. I'm a radio and television personality. I'm becoming what you can call a multimedia personality. So trying to, express myself in different ways with the new platforms that are available. I mean, being a woman already, it's in this industry, it's already tough enough. It's, you're always competing against the men, and people always look at you as a secondary, person. And for such a long time, I was in the shadow of a big star, because I worked with 𝐔𝐧𝐦𝐚𝐬𝐤𝐞𝐝 like the formative years of my radio. And I always used to be just the girl there. And not because he didn't teach me enough, or not because he didn't give me a platform to outshine or whatever, but it was always people will always look at you as second because you're the woman. So you should be the lesser individual in the whole scheme of things. Radio was always tough for me from that point of view, and also the fact that I had to always compete with the ghost of Tino Katsande. Everyone used to be like, she's not feisty enough, she's not, good enough. Yeah. And those were like probably my deepest battles at that point, because for the longest time I tried to find the Tino Katsande in me until someone said to me, stop. You just need to be you. And that should be enough. I had one of my bosses call me and they said to me, let's go for lunch. And they said to me, if you don't pull up your socks, you're going to be fired. And I felt like, this person had to take me all the way out of the office place to tell me this. It must be really bad, And that wasn't just the only time, I've always had like situations where I felt like they were going to remove me. And every time I felt like, oh, you never know when that call is going to come to say, we think that we need to change your shift. And that's the most difficult thing any presenter on radio can go through, The other time I remember they had said to me, well, we're promoting you. And they gave me one show on a weekend, coming from a daily show, But I don't know, God works in a funny way. Never did end up coming off daytime. Yeah. I don't know. I always look at it as a competition against myself, because I always have to do what, better than I did the last time. I look, yes, in the industry and see who's doing what, how are they impacting on their community, but performance-based is always money, It's money being poured into the brand MISRED. And if it's not, then definitely I'm doing something wrong. I think the biggest task for me was to find myself and understand who I am, because I had been trying for so long to become something that I wasn't. And I feel like the minute I got comfortable in being me, in being MISRED, in being this curvy, short, voluptuous lady, I became. That's when I improved. MISRED. MISRED is a feisty, bold, go-getting creature, and she's so confident, she's so eloquent, the world is, her oyster. She is not intimidated by anything. She goes after what she wants. She challenges herself in a way that She thinks beyond her reality. She wants to tackle the world. She wants to be international. She is international. She is regional. She is misunderstood. Yeah. Misread. The name. I'm going to start with that so that we understand. Misread. Misread came from, I used to wear this red stain of lipstick. It was Ruby Woo, before Ruby Woo was even popular. And I was just coming back from South Africa. And one of my friends, he always used to say, oh, because he used to see me with that red, and he'd be like, that's so cool, man. She's Misread, with red. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And it became a thing because people, when I stopped wearing the red lipstick, people were like, she's not wearing the red, she's misunderstood. I was like, Misread. Okay. Then it stuck. And I wasn't even on radio at that time. Yeah. And then Samantha Musa. Samantha Musa is mother of two beautiful girls. From her own stomach. Samantha Musa is a mother of a lot of kids. Not just her own, her nieces, her nephews. Samantha Musa is the firstborn in a family of 4. 2 boys, 2 girls. Samantha Musa is a caregiver, not just for her own immediate family, like 2 daughters, but she's a breadwinner for her mother, a breadwinner for her father, supports her brothers, her sister. She is a village being taken care of by one person. Yeah. She is the real person. And sometimes people don't know that Samantha Musa kind of comes into Misread space, and she's Samantha Musa talking about fuel queues and the things that are difficult in life, and she forgets to be fabulous and feisty, and she forgets that no, this is Misread's platform, because she wants to be real. She's pretty real. She's not apologetic about who she is, but at the same time, she's a very honest character, a very loving character, emotional. Samantha Musa cries a lot because when you find yourself taking care of a whole family and you're by yourself, sometimes it's tough, but she still has to wake up and smile and make people happy, be on the radio and take Zimbabwe home after a long day at work as Misread. But Samantha Musa sometimes gets pretty sad. Depression. Because you can't switch off. You can't, you can't stop smiling because everyone's expecting you to smile. If you don't smile, how are we supposed to smile? In a very big nutshell, Samantha Musa. So I had my first child before I was Misread. I was 21, and it was a mess. It was just a mess. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. When you're younger, you think you love someone, and then when you're older, you realize, okay, this really wasn't it. emotional abuse was him belittling me as, a woman, making me feel like I was really nothing. And he would do it intentionally. Some people do it without knowing it, but he would plan it out. And he would say, okay, fine, today, what can I do to reduce who she is, to take away? And it sounds crazy to people who know the story, but because he doesn't seem like that guy. But he would tell me, I'm going to make you suffer. And he would go away and he'd plan it, and I'd still accept it because I was in love. And because I'd gotten pregnant when I least expected it. I think my life kind of stopped at that point because when I got married, he took me away from my family. And it wasn't an option. It was like because I had to go back. I was still living in Mozambique then. And he said, I don't want you to go back. So he went to my house. And my parents were there. And, he's like, I'm going to ask your parents so that I can marry you so that you don't have to go back. And because I was so shy and I felt like I was going to disappoint my parents because I was going back to Mozambique. I had a good life there. But I had gotten back with this guy and he didn't want me to go. And he had somewhat of a control freak thing that he had within him. And he's like, yo, you can't go back. So I'm going to figure out a plan. And here he is. He takes whoever he takes from his family and goes to my parents' house. Says, I want to marry her. My mom was like, what do you mean you want to marry her? She hasn't told us about you. And, my mom was calling me now because I had gone to his house. She's calling me and she's saying, who's this guy that didn't pick up? She sent me a text. Who's this guy who just came from nowhere? I was so embarrassed that I think I agreed to marry him because of embarrassment. Not because I loved him or not because I wanted to be in that relationship, but because I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I'd had a good 3 years of being sober-minded and I was moving forward with my life because I grew up, I was a very rebellious child. So at this point, I didn't know what to do when I ended up with a guy, staying with a man at 21 years old. I should have been, traveling and enjoying myself and living life. But I was stuck in the situation. And then I got pregnant. When I realized I'd given away myself and my dreams and my hopes, and I was stuck in this house, day in, day out, I'd wake up, clean the house, cook, sleep, wake up, clean the house, cook, sleep. That's not who I wanted to be. I wanted more. And I couldn't even have discussions around being more, because that would make me a bad person in his eyes. And all I thought about was pleasing him. And then one day, my mom decided, because my mom is, bless her heart, she's always worried about me. So she was like, yo, I need to see you. I haven't spoken to you since you've been at this house. I haven't seen you or anything. And this was still out of embarrassment. I couldn't see my parents even after the whole situation happened, even after he went to see my relatives and paid whatever he paid. I still was embarrassed because I disappointed my father, disappointed my mother. But my mom was like, okay, I want to see you. My mom came and I had lost 20 kgs. And she's like, Mana, what we take? And I'd hurt her really bad. I disappointed them. It wasn't meant to happen like that. But it did. And my mom was like, this is not you, babe. I'm naturally a big person. And At the time, I was weighing 52 kgs. Yeah. It sounds weird, but I want to talk to a 14-year-old. At 14, I thought I knew everything. Ooh, Shem. You know, I partied at 14. I would know people who would come and collect me and go out. And, you know, I was so rebellious. And I always say, God saved me, because if it wasn't for what I went through, I probably wouldn't be here now. So it was a very important thing, but I always say, I wish someone had told me to slow down, to take my time, to love myself, learn myself, experience myself. And I'd probably want my legacy to be that I could talk to a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, and tell them to enjoy life, to enjoy the innocence, the younger years, to just take their time with everything and know that everything will come to pass at the right time. Because I don't feel anyone is talking to people, young people. You know, there's so much TV, social media. No one's talking. Everyone is just learning things from kids in Cyprus, in America, in the UK. We're not talking. And I want us to talk. It's weird, because my oldest is like this little mini celebrity at her school, because, you know, on a school bus, they used to listen in the morning, going to school. It's myself and TK. And she's like, that's my mom. And she's very proud. You know, she likes everyone to know that that's my mom. And sometimes she'll forget, because we've got a rule at home. They can't call me MISRED at home. It's just mom. And Hannah will be like, Mom, my friends were asking, how's MISRED? And I'll be like, whoa, it's just mom at home. And your friends shouldn't even be having this discussion about MISRED. It should just be my mom. But she's super proud. I mean, she's really supportive. My oldest, Hannah, then the younger one, Peter Renee. I mean, she's still too young to know. But it's tough, because your children see you as these superstars, because at school they're telling each other, yeah, your mom is a superstar, so you should have this and you should have that. Doesn't make sense for you to not have this. And then they have to come back home to the realities of that very thing. I mean, I work hard, and my kids have the best of everything. But sometimes I feel like I need to just bring them back so they don't struggle when they're growing up. So it's a tough balance. But I've tried to put some rules in place at home, so that we establish that at home there is no MISRED. At home there's this mom, and sometimes we'll help MISRED with her work, but it's just mom. I have been blessed beyond measure. I cannot begin to tell you. God saw that this girl needs some help. She needs some real help. So he sent a few angels my direction. I've got the best team in the world. I've got a very strong team. And I mean, I've reached where I can as a brand, alone, individually. I did it for such a long time. I did it alone. But everything changed once I had a team behind me. There's a girl that I met at work a long time ago at ZFM. I don't know, it's a tribe, whatever. But she believed in my brand so much that she kept on saying, hey, you know what? You're so cool. Let's work together. And then one day I indulged her. I was like, okay, you want to work with me? Come. And she has been the backbone of the MISRED brand until today. I mean, I've had other people helping me out. I've had personal assistants, um, but she stuck it out with me, you know. And today she really is MISRED, right? But yeah, Jillian, she's amazing. Yeah, my own little personal angel. Then I had a monster of a woman come and break everything that I believed a brand should be, and she showed me what a brand could be. What I say I'm extremely blessed is I get to experience amazing, phenomenal women, and my team has strong women backing it up, you know. And this young lady, her name is Tanya. I experienced her years ago. She used to do digital distribution for other people, and I was like, "Who is this girl?" And you know, she was so professional, and she made things so different, you know. And I just kind of digged her style, and I'd been nagging her for such a long time. So, you know, I have the powerhouse of these two women, and you know, they've put structures around the MISRED brand to help it grow. You know, then the team is so big. Like now I can't even explain it because y'all might think I'm bragging or whatever, but you know, even got an acquisitions manager. That sounds fancy, I know. Yeah. And a very strong team behind me. So I think because of the strength of the team, the future has limitless possibilities. You know, it's no longer MISRED Zimbabwe. It's now MISRED International brand. You know, we've had a few things happen in the region. So you can call me the Southern African media personality, soon to be international. Yes. Hi, my name is Samantha Musa, also known as Miss Red, and I have been unmasked.